What's up guys, it's Nav here. So recently I've been doing a lot of God Wars Dungeon 2, and as many of you have pointed out, my Ring of Wealth doesn't actually affect the drop rates of these bosses. So I decided to change that and get a Ring of Fortune, which is just an enchanted Onyx ring. Now as an Ironman, my options are pretty limited. The most reliable way to get an uncut Onyx is through the fight kiln, because it's a guaranteed reward if you can actually do it and choose it as a reward instead of one of the lava caves. Now I'll be completely honest, I've never tried fight kiln, but I can say after killing Jad in the regular fight caves a fair few times for Slayer tasks, I still can't do it without having a heart attack, so I'd prefer not to go through the emotional torment of having to fight multiple Jads at once. So my other options were a lot less consistent. I could either go mine gems at $29 with a very low chance of getting an uncut Onyx, or pickpocketing Gullible traders in Menaphos, who occasionally give Menaphite gift offerings, and these have a rare chance of giving uncut Onyxes, and also Onyx rings and Onyx necklaces, and they do also have a very rare chance of giving 10 noted uncut Onyxes at once. So considering I've never actually unlocked Menaphos and wanted an excuse to unlock and check out that content, I went with the pickpocketing option. On top of that, I generally hate low level thieving, and upon starting I was 72 thieving, which is actually one of my lowest skills, just beating a few such as invention and farming. So first up, to unlock Menaphos, I had to complete the Jack of Spades quest, which, like most of Jajex's newer quests, was pretty good. It had a lot of cutscenes, and I'm sure the story was solid as well, not that I take the time to read it. So with that done, I quickly looked up a guide just to get a gist on things, and chose to put my rep into the market district. Now I don't really know much about the reputation system here. At the time I just picked the market district because that's where I was, and it seemed to be mainly linked to cosmetic rewards, which I don't care about, although if you guys have a different opinion, definitely let me know. So essentially there's only one Gullible tourist who spawns here. Once they spawn, they seem to stick around for a very long time, around 12 hours or even more maybe. From my experience, it was hard to tell, because 99% of the time they were there when you logged in, so once you've hopped around enough worlds to find one, you can simply pickpocket them by left clicking, and since they don't move, it's as simple as spam clicking until your inventory gets full, she despawns and moves to a different world, or you give in to the repetitive strain injury occurring in your finger. So of all the thieving methods, this one is pretty good because you can watch movies pretty easily, or anything else that doesn't involve moving your cursor. I personally played Hearthstone on my phone with my other hand. Now there is an implication: when your Menaphos rep gets high enough to reach rank 4, whilst pickpocketing, you will randomly have Guthix butterflies and implings spawn right underneath you. This in theory is a good thing, free stuff for no extra effort, but it creates an issue when these things fly in front of your cursor and your character actually moves to catch them, and then you end up running around not pickpocketing anything. So it isn't the end of the world. I managed to get a few decent implings, such as a dragon impling. As an Ironman, that's pretty nice, but what it does mean is once you reach this rank 4 reputation, you can't do some weird things with wireless mouses that involve you sitting in a different room clicking and just never moving your cursor. Now I'm not 100% sure if these rank rewards can be toggled off, although I highly doubt it. So early on I was needing food. Up until about 75 thieving, I was getting caught rather frequently and therefore taking damage, but once I got a bit higher, although I was still getting caught occasionally, it wasn't frequent enough that I really needed food. The experience itself was pretty good. I was averaging between about 50 to 60k an hour, getting about 950k thieving experience in total. Now I was getting higher amounts obviously as I did level because I was getting caught a lot less, but honestly it really depended on how frequently I was clicking, sometimes a bit faster, sometimes a bit slower, as I did do this for 19 hours over a few days. So what I decided to do was open these boxes in lots of 20 until I either reached 100 or gotten 2 Onyxes for a Ring of Fortune and Amulet of Fury. Another thing to note is unfortunately these boxes can't be banked, so once I reached 20 in my inventory, I would open them and then continue pickpocketing. So first, a lot of boxes. As you can see, it's mainly junk. There's a few useful things such as Slayer VIP tickets and charms. So there we go, an Onyx necklace. Now I have no use for this. Unfortunately this cannot be made into an Amulet of Fury. So it's a bit disappointing, but it gives me hope because this does have the same rarity as all the other Onyx. So I know that the chances of me getting another isn't that unrealistic. Okay, and the next lot. Another interesting thing is they give decent plants, such as palm trees, and noted supplies which are commonly used for paying farmers to mind your crops, so it can help a bit with your farming as an Ironman, but other than that, nothing worth mentioning for these lot of boxes. Alright, next lot of boxes, totaling 60 so far. There we go, an uncut Onyx. So I'm really happy to see that. So at this point I'm pretty happy no matter the outcome because I can get a Ring of Fortune now. So far I'd found this pretty easy, so I thought why not keep going. I kind of wanted to try my luck at getting the 10 uncut Onyxes, as that would be pretty insane. Okay, so on with the next lot of boxes. So as you can see, there is a trend. There isn't a wide variety of items really, and I'm getting pretty much the same things. Interestingly enough, you also get chimes, which is a currency used for the Arc content, but other than that, pretty much a disappointing opening. Alright, so on with the last lot of boxes, making a total of 100 opened. Also in my inventory, I have now hit rank 4 with Menaphos, so you can see an example of the type of things you can get, which I was getting from the implings. A lot of the junkier things I was just dismantling or dropping. And there we go. So unfortunately, no further Onyx items or 10 noted uncut Onyxes, but regardless, I'm still happy with this and going to make my Ring of Fortune. So on top of that, I thought I would just mention a few interesting things. So I did end up getting a total of 24 VIP Slayer tickets and around 2,400 chimes, and also ended up with a total of 8.5 million gold. Now, I started on 2.6 million, so that means I gained 5.9 million gold and averaged about 310k gold an hour, which I was pretty surprised about. That's really good compared to most of the other thieving methods available at my level bracket, which is low to mid 70s. So there we go. I'm probably going to explore some more of Menaphos in the near future as it seems like pretty interesting content, but I'm also really keen to get back into God Wars Dungeon 2. But that's it for this one. If you're an Ironman who needs a Ring of Fortune or Amulet of Fury, definitely check out this method. Menaphos is definitely a lot easier to access in comparison to Prift and Ass, or even the Fight Kiln if you aren't confident in your PVM abilities. But let me know what you think of Menaphos, and if you've managed to get 10 uncut Onyxes from the Menaphos boxes, do let me know how long it took you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, here we go. Plant. Cactus and chocolate. Plant. Plant.
Those emerald rings?
Yeah, they're random. It's like ruby, sapphire. They give some interesting loot.
Charms.
Yeah, like it gives decent chunks of charms. Oh, fuck yeah!